Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon to some of you, and good evening if you're catching us on the replay. It's a special Saturday edition of the CJ Curry Show. It's your favorite Prize Picks player prop show presented by Prize Picks. Guys, if you're not playing daily fantasy sports on Prize Picks yet, you're missing out on a lot of fun. They allow you to pick anywhere from 2 up to 6 of your favorite superstars. You can mix and match different sports. You can combine somebody from the NBA with somebody from the NFL, or if you want to get crazy, get you a soccer pick, mix it with an esports pick. Whatever your taste and preferences, they allow you to mix and match, and you can win up to 25 times your money. And a great offer for those who have never played on Prize Picks before. Make your first deposit on Prize Picks, use code Curry, and you will get a 100% instant deposit match, meaning they're going to match you dollar for dollar. You put in $50, they're going to contribute $50, all the way up to $100, however many you want to do, however many buckaroos you're willing to risk. Prize Picks will match you dollar for dollar up to $100. Use code Curry, make your first deposit. Link down in the description of today's video. Yesterday's stream, we had a nice group of picks come out of there. We ended up going with a 6-pick flex. It did not go for 25x. We did not 25x our money, but we did 2x our money. We ended up having Jokic push at exactly 9 assists. Controversial. Some people thought he might have had 10 assists and wasn't credited for an assist. But we ended up pushing or tying on Nikola Jokic at exactly 9 assists. And then we had Jimmy Butler go under his rebounds and assists, but the other 4 picks hit, which led to a double up for us on yesterday's video. So if you took the 6-pick flex that we put together, well, congratulations, you have doubled your dollars. Nothing like doubling your money up, right? Free picks, free content, leading you to doubling your dollarooskies, right? So appreciate you guys for once again being here, once again getting us over 100 likes in yesterday's video. We're gonna hopefully do it again today. I think we're sitting at what, 22 likes right now? 22. There's 77 people watching. Let's try to get that number up to 100 people watching and liking today's video. If there's somebody you know who plays on Prize Picks, maybe they've never heard of my show, maybe they've never heard of my YouTube channel, maybe they've never seen this beautiful face that you guys have seen day after day, share the channel with somebody. I encourage you to share the channel with somebody, share this live stream with somebody. Let's grow this channel. Let's get some more subscribers in here. Let's get some more Dub Club members. Link to the Dub Club, I just dropped that into the live chat. And yeah, if somebody out there is looking for some NBA picks today, this is the channel. This is the show to share with those people, okay? Need your help, need your support. I'm only one man. I've only got 2 thumbs. I'm only allowed to hit the like button once. I'm only allowed to hit the subscribe button once. So that's where you guys come in. Let's unleash the power of the people who join me for these each and every day. All right, speaking of the people, let's shout out some people. Dominic's in the building. He mentions that Devin Booker is out today. Yes, we just received word that Devin Booker will not be suiting up for the Phoenix Suns today. There was a 1 o'clock game. There's a whole bunch of games that start at like 7 o'clock or later, but there was one oddball 1 o'clock game. It was the Phoenix Suns, Philadelphia 76ers game. Devin Booker is not going to be playing in that game, unfortunately. I was really looking forward to seeing him go. I can't wait to see all 3 of the big 3 for Phoenix get out there. I'm talking KD with Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. We haven't seen that yet in the regular season, but you know, Eric Gordon's been benefiting. He's been playing some fantastic ball, even though he's reaching sort of the end of his career. Eric Gordon's still showing that he's a well capable hooper. Eric Gordon can still get some buckets for your favorite ball club. So shout out to Eric Gordon. But anyway, yeah, no Devin Booker today for Phoenix. We'll take a look at the rest of the injury news and see what names, what teams we need to keep our eye on as we head toward tip-off at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But yes, Dominic, you are right. Devin Booker was a scratch. He is not going to be playing today for Phoenix. Susan's in the building. Susan's back again. Dub Club in the building. Let's go. Susan, you flex at me. I have to flex back. Them's the rules. Roy's in the building. He says, let's go. Chef Curry with the live show on Saturday. Yeah, I decided to show up for you guys. There was enough people in the Discord who said, yeah, we'd like to see you on a Saturday, do a live show. So here I am. I listened to the people. have my ear to the street. You guys are speaking and I'm listening. Your voice is being heard. You want me here? Here I am. Live and in living color, in the flesh. Ali says, I won yesterday, 5 out of 6. Congratulations to you. Contavious is in the building. Everyday Fantasy hit him another 25x entry. That is Don P. For those of you who are Dub Club and Discord members, that's our guy, Don P. If you're not following some of Don P's picks or all of Don P's picks, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. Stop sleeping on Don P. Don P does his research. Don P does his homework. Don P does this. So if you're not following Don P's picks, he's somebody that's worth following in our Dub Club and in our Discord community. Shout out to Don P for another 25x. Ray J. I almost called you Ray J, bro. We'll call you RJ. RJ says, Dub Club member in the chat. Hey, let me know if you're watching this live. If you're in the live chat right now and you're catching this beautiful face live, leave a DC in the chat if you're a Dub Club member. Let me see some DCs in there. For all my Dub Club crew, drop a DC in the live chat if you're part of the Dub Club. I want to see how many of you are showing up and showing out. How many Dub Club members we got in the audience right now? Over 100 people. I'd like to see how many Dub Clubbers we have. Show the support. Let me see how many of you are supporting through Dub Club. Always curious to see that. Brandon says Everyday Fantasy needs to have a meeting. He won yesterday, but not a 25x. Curry always chefing, though. I tailed his slips and hit. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you hit. Yeah, we hit a couple of 2-pick power plays. We hit that double up from yesterday's YouTube video. So shout out to you, bro. Glad you got some coins. Malcolm's in the building asking about KD for a double-double. Possibly. We'll look into it. Ronald's Green, what's up to you? Thanks for being here. Jimmy Green says, good morning, Dub Club gang. Love the help I get in Discord. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd be struggling. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hey, Jimmy, that's what we're here for. We're a community, brother. We win and lose together. We ride or die together. It's bad boys for life. Wesley Winston, bonus coverage? Yeah, showing up on a Saturday. Once again, you flex at me. I'm flexing back, man. I ain't backing down from a good old flex. We could have a flex off. You know what I'm saying? Dominic says, yo, I just saw your post on Discord. Thanks for reminding me. You're welcome. Who else we got in here? D'Angelo's in the building. Happy to be here on a Saturday. Shout out to you, D'Angelo. Baphomet says he took KD's PRA under and Book just got ruled out. Yeah, sometimes when you jump on those early lines, like I did, I took KD under 29.5 points. Sometimes you might get burned. We'll see, though. We'll see. They still got to go out and play. I'm not giving KD 30 points just yet. He's got to go out and earn those buckets. We'll see if he earns them today against a tough Philadelphia 76er squad. T-Bone, yo, Ace V, shout out to you. Thanks for being here. Huncho says, let's go Curry. We got Tyler, last name, loves a Saturday show. I love you for being here on a Saturday. Mike's here. He's ready to get some green. Mike from the Fours is also here. Says, yeah, let's get these likes up. Thanks, Mike, for reminding the people to hit the like button. We're at 43 likes now. So hit the like button. Share this. If you're watching for the first time, hit the subscribe button. You know we do this on the daily. It's Matt says, just got recommended to you. Loving the content already. Matt, I appreciate you. And I'm glad that somebody put you on. Look at all this big Dub Club energy. We've got big DC energy in the building. Dutch is in the building. Drop the sauce. A Dub Club member. Lots of Dub Club here. Nisi, Jimmy Green, D'Angelo, Mike. Man, we got Ramen Sama, DC member in here. DC since day one, says Contavious. Lots of DC. Oh, look at all the DCs. Golly. All right, you see how many people are in the Dub Club, right? Why don't you join these fine folks in, jumping on the Dub Club wagon? Like I said, it's $20. $20 a month, all right? And 67 cents per day is pretty affordable. We're doing the Lord's work. We're doing the research for you. We're looking at the winning picks and trying to post those out there and just trying to help each other win, okay? So Matt, if you're thinking about joining the Dub Club, I have just dropped a link for you. It will pay for itself. Like I always say, to break it down in its most simplest terms, all you have to do is win one $10 two-pick power play over the course of an entire month, 31 days. You can win one $10 two-pick power play, and then the Dub Club is paid for. It's paid for. It's literally free. It's like a free membership. One $10 two-pick power play, pull $20 out of your PrizePicks account, pay yourself $20, and then boom, your dub club's covered. And it's a free roll from there. I'm almost giving it away at this point. It's almost being given to you. I don't know how to make it any easier. You win one $10 two-pick power play, and dub club is covered. If you can't do that over the course of an entire month, something is wrong. Maybe you should pick up another hobby like pickleball. I heard that was cool. Anyways, guys, let's talk about today's purdle. It's an NBA player guessing game. We're trying to figure out who the mystery player is. So let's start off by guessing our first guess, making it Devin Booker. He is our thumbnail player of the game. Player of the day, I should say. It is not Devin Booker. This player does not play for the Phoenix Suns, is in the Western Conference, but not in the Pacific Division. It is a guard, somebody who is 6'5" in stature, somebody who is around the age of 25 to 27 years old. Devin Booker's jersey number is 1, however, and that is a very low number. And this player is going to have a jersey number that is much higher than the number 1. So we're looking for somebody who's 6'5", who's younger than 27 years old, maybe around the 25, 26-year-old range. Plays guard, but also could be a hybrid style player, like a guard/forward. In the Western Conference, but not in the Pacific Division. And I'll just go ahead and cheat. We'll show you the silhouette of this player. Does that look familiar to you? Does that look like anybody that you know? Looks like a piece of broccoli to me. Broccoli-headed young fella, whoever this person may be. Not going to be Cade Cunningham, I can promise you that, because this player's in the Western Conference. Can't be Cade Cunningham. Cade's in the Eastern Conference. Cannot be Colin Sexton, because Colin Sexton's also not in the Western Conference. De'Aaron Fox. We got some De'Aaron Fox guesses. Let's go with De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox used to have that haircut. De'Aaron Fox now has a low haircut. He's not rocking the crazy hair like he used to have when he came into the league. So it's not De'Aaron Fox. That's what I can assure you of. De'Aaron Fox in the Pacific Division. I guess we should have known that it wasn't going to be Fox. But here's what we uncovered based on the De'Aaron Fox guess, that this player's between 6'3" and 6'5". He's exactly 6'5". So Fox was a little bit short. This player's going to be exactly 26 years old. So not a rookie, not a second-year player. It's going to be somebody who's been in the league for a few years. But this might be a helpful clue. The jersey number 5, De'Aaron Fox wears number 5. This player's going to be rocking number 3 or 4, most likely, on their jersey. So we're looking for a guard, maybe a guard/forward, hybrid-style player in the Western Conference. We got some OKC Thunder guesses. Matisse Thybulle now is in the Western Conference. Jalen Williams is obviously with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's try Matisse Thybulle real quick. I'm not sure how old Thybulle is, but I want to say that he fits into that age bracket. Boom! We got it. There we go. Whoever said Matisse Thybulle, you are correct. It is Matisse Thybulle. Portland Trailblazer now, no longer with the Philadelphia 76ers. Matisse Thybulle is the correct guess. So those of you who guessed Matisse Thybulle, well, pat yourselves on the back. You know ball. You must know ball. Thybulle with the Portland Trailblazers in the Western Conference, Northwest Division. He is a guard/forward. He is exactly 6'5", 26 years of age, and he wears jersey number 4. So congratulations to the Matisse Thybulle guessers out there. All right, let's flip it over here and take a look at some NBA news now that our brains are warmed up thanks to the purdle guessing game. It is November 4th. Shout out to everybody who is rocking with me this morning. Now at 130 people watching, 51 likes. Let's get those likes up closer to 130. Devin Booker is out. We just talked about that. He is not playing for Phoenix today in that 1 o'clock Eastern game between the Phoenix Suns and Philadelphia 76ers. Keep an eye on Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram still dealing with that knee issue. He's questionable. Derek White has been ruled out for personal reasons. So no Derek White for the Boston Celtics. I don't know what their starting 5 will look like with Derek White being out. Do they move maybe Al Horford back into the starting lineup? They go a little bit bigger with Horford and Porzingis at the forward spots, with Tatum and Brown at your wing spots, and then Drew Holiday at point guard, possibly. I don't know what their projected starting lineup will look like. Maybe they bring somebody else off the bench in Derek White's absence, but he's not going to play today. All right, Markelle Fultz missed the last game with a knee issue. He is questionable today. If Markelle Fultz can't go, you're probably going to see a boost in minutes for guys like Cole Anthony. Maybe you see some Anthony Black, the rookie for the Orlando Magic. He did find his way onto the floor in that last game. He found some minutes for the Orlando Magic. So Fultz, keep an eye on his status. Taurean Prince also was ruled out just before tip-off in that last game for the Lakers. He was ruled out. He's questionable to play today, dealing with some sort of knee issue. And then you got Nicholas Claxton, who is yet to make his debut for the Brooklyn Nets. He's still dealing with an ankle situation. He's unlikely to play. So the Brooklyn Nets, I believe, have been going more small ball, playing the 6'10" Ben Simmons, who's more of a point forward. They've been playing him, I guess, at the center spot. He's been playing some of that post D, and it sounds like he's going to be doing more of the same because Nicholas Claxton's just not ready to go yet. Not ready to make his debut. So keep an eye on these different 6 different pieces of injury news. Obviously, they will impact the overs and the unders on your favorite player projections on PrizePicks. All right. So now that we kind of know what to be on the lookout for, let's go ahead and take a look at the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Let me make sure everything is all dialed in here. Boom. We got all the categories selected now. All right. So why I like this tool? Well, I've told you guys in the past who have joined me, it's going to go out and it's going to take a look at all the different sports books. It's going to see which way the juice is flowing. Are people betting the over or are they betting the under on these different player prop projections? All right, and then what it's going to do is strip the VIG out of that, and it's going to give you true odds of a pick to hit for the over or the under. So very helpful tool, helps you identify value before the value gets away. You know how PrizePicks does. They will bump stuff up on you. They will bump stuff down on you. They will completely snatch your favorite prop right off of the board before your very eyes. That's what they did with Brook Lopez, over 10.5 points and assists yesterday. They took Brook Lopez down. Lopez ended up going over 10.5 points and assists. So usually when PrizePicks pulls a pick off the board, it's because it's a good one. And a lot of the good picks that get pulled from the PrizePicks board, they start right here on this Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer tool. Let me turn on the refresh timer. We'll put it on, let's say 90 seconds. Every 90 seconds, this little plug-in will automatically refresh the board. All right. So Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, take it for a 7-day free trial, link down in the description of today's video. If you use code Curry, I think it saves you a few bucks. I think they're still doing that little deal. So check it out. Use my special link. I've left it for you in the description of today's video. So we'll be using this to find some value plays. Little spoiler alert, I've already taken Walker Kessler over 7.5 rebounds. I took it last night or in the wee early hours of the morning. Walker Kessler was projected really well for more than 7.5 rebounds. So let's just start there. We'll go right with that one, right off rip. All right, we're gonna be using Fantasy Labs, we're gonna be using RotoWire, we're gonna be using LineStar, we're gonna be using NumberFire to take a look at these different player prop projections. And hopefully it'll help us make some sound decisions, some data-driven decisions, some informed decisions. So we're just not betting with our gut. We're going with the numbers here, the data pulled from the sports books, the data pulled from these reliable projection models. Now, they're not 100% accurate. No projection system, no projection models are 100% accurate. There's times where somebody's projected to do something and they just don't go do it. All right, we can't control that. We can't control their effort, how they perform once the ball gets tipped up, right? Can't control that. But what we can control is that we are making data-driven, informed decisions. And in this case, Walker Kessler's projecting well at 8.7 boards. on a line of 7.5. So you're seeing everybody on the sports book betting the over for Walker Kessler at 7.5 rebounds. You're seeing a nice solid 8.7 rebound projection for Walker Kessler. So it's looking good, you know, right off rip, right? It gets even better when we check RotoWire out because they've got him projected for a massive rebound total of 11.2 on a line of 7.5. Like I said, projections, sometimes they can be wrong. He's going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. Former Utah Jazz center Rudy Gobert. So it should be a fun little matchup. It's kind of like a changing of the guard. The old big man versus the new big man. Walker Kessler versus Rudy Gobert. So we'll see how that turns out. But second projection for Kessler is looking really strong at 11.2 rebounds. Taking a look at where he is at on LineStar. LineStar is another nice little projection site. But they've got Walker Kessler all the way down at 6.6 rebounds. LineStar is always kind of like the redheaded stepchild of these projection models. They always seem to be off in left field somewhere. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I haven't really kept track if like everybody's on Walker Kessler's over on the projections, but LineStar's not. Like, does LineStar get it right more than they get it wrong? I don't know. But all I can tell you is that they're at 6.6 rebounds, and we just saw a projection on RotoWire of like over 11 rebounds. So, hey, you do with this information what you will. I'm just here giving you the news, giving you the scoop, all right? Walker Kessler, however, on Number Fire is projected for 9.7 rebounds. So we've got three pretty healthy over projections. LineStar is the only one that's weird and different, and they have him projected to go under 7.5 boards for whatever reason. Maybe they're right in this case. Maybe they're wrong. I don't know. We will find out once the ball gets tipped up and these players play the game. But, hey, all I can tell you is that as of right now, Walker Kessler at 7.5 rebounds looks pretty sweet for the over. Now, we could take this a step further, and you know, when you have access to a site like a props.cash, they make taking things a little bit further easy. And what I mean by that is you could go and take a look at like the game logs. If you wanted to see like how Walker Kessler does, how competent he is at covering 7.5 rebounds. That's where props.cash comes in. They give you all the data from each and every player, from each and every team, and they show you, you know, how well a player can rebound or has rebound this season. Now, Walker Kessler has been a roller coaster ride when it comes to rebounds. Basically, he's 3 for 6, 50% at covering 7.5 boards. He did it against Sacramento, so you think like Domantas Sabonis, pretty good rebounder in his own right. Did not do it against the Clippers, against Ivica Zubac. Did not do it against Yusuf Nurkic. He went under. But comes back against Nikola Jokic in the Denver Nuggets with 13 rebounds. Does struggle a little bit here against Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. and the Memphis Grizzlies. But then against Orlando, Wendell Carter Jr. and company, he pulls in 10 boards. So could he go under 7.5 rebounds? Well, yeah, I guess he could. 4, 5, and 4. But could he also go over? Yeah, I mean, he's pulled in 8, 10, and 13. So it's been either really hot or really cold for Walker Kessler. That's all I can tell you. As far as rebounds allowed, Minnesota, rather, their rebounds allowed, 33.8 rebounds, defensive rebounds allowed, which puts them 13th, kind of middle of the pack. So they're not giving up a ton of boards. They do a really good job at keeping opposing players off of the offensive glass. They rank second in the league there. But with props.cash, I mean, this is what I'm showing you here. You could take things a step further with props.cash and kind of look at game logs and stuff like that, if that's what you're into. If you want to dig a little deeper, here is how you do it with props.cash. Use code Curry, sign up for props.cash, and you can save 25% off your first month. Again, link down in the description for you to try this out. But we'll go ahead and put Walker Kessler in there for now at 7.5 rebounds, and you know, we'll keep looking. We'll keep looking. Leroy says he's kind of sketched out by Walker Kessler's rebounds. He says that there's a little bit too much competition for boards between Gobert on the other side for Minnesota. You got Karl Anthony Towns, obviously. You got Lauri Markkanen, who's on Walker Kessler's team. You got John Collins, who plays for Utah. There's a lot of big boys. There's a lot of big boys expected to be out there tonight, right? Walker Kessler, John Collins, Lauri Markkanen on Utah. And then the other side, you got Karl Anthony Towns, you got Rudy Gobert. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, so there's one play. Drop the sauce. Do I ever run NFL plays? Yes. I think we actually went 9-2 on the NFL picks that I posted for Dub Club members last Sunday. I believe it was 9-2. We smacked last Sunday for NFL. Of course I run NFL plays. What kind of sports fan would I be if I didn't run any NFL plays? I mean, we're here talking NBA. But do I get down with the NFL picks? Of course I do. Of course I do. All right, taking a look here at some of these other ones that are up on the board. Walker Kessler, 53.7% chance to go over 7.5 boards. I'm just saying, putting it out there for you. Taking a look at DeAnthony Melton of the Philadelphia 76ers. Yes, y'all. If y'all haven't heard, it's Tyrese Maxey's birthday. Burr, 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 burr. Happy birthday to Tyrese Maxey. Is he going to go off today? I mean, a lot of people seem to think he will. He might. We'll see. So DeAnthony Melton sitting at 21.5 fantasy score. They're saying, they being the sports books and the data pulled from those sports books, are saying that DeAnthony Melton may end up going over his fantasy score of 21.5. So I know a lot of people are high on Tyrese Maxey, but maybe DeAnthony Melton over 21.5 fantasy score is a good look. Let's just go take a peek at it. And once again, we're going to be using FanDuel projections from various sites here to take a look at this together. Let's get all games here. There's 8 games today. DeAnthony Melton is projected for 23.4 fantasy score, so that does put him over 21.5 by about almost 2 fantasy points. And again, fantasy points are points, rebounds, assists, blocks and steals, and turnovers, a combination of those different things. Each one of those categories weighted just a little bit different. You get quite a bit of points, 1.5 for every assist. You get 1.2 for every rebound. For every block or steal, you get 3 points. For every turnover, you lose a point. So it kind of gives you an idea of how fantasy score is calculated. Here's another projection for DeAnthony Melton, 23.89 fantasy points. 23.89 fantasy points, puts him over 21.5. So we've got 2 projections that have DeAnthony Melton going over his fantasy score line of 21.5 today. We're taking a look here at LineStar. LineStar also has fantasy score projections. Let's switch the slate to include the Philadelphia Phoenix game so we can get a Melton projection. And over on LineStar, they've got him at 21 fantasy points. So slightly under, slightly less than where he is at today on PrizePicks. So we got 2 overs, 2 under, or 2 overs, 1 under. And then taking a look at a fourth and final projection, DeAnthony Melton projected for 22.7 fantasy score on NumberFire. So they got Melton going over on 3 out of 4 sites on his fantasy score. When you kind of look at how the different markets are being bet on DeAnthony Melton at 21.5 fantasy score, you get like 22.7, 22.6. So Melton, although not a huge projected favorite to go over 21.5 fantasy score, is projected to go over nonetheless. So if you wanted to throw Melton in there, it is checking out for the most part across the board. 3 out of 4 projection models agree. You could take Melton over 21.5. And then just, again, looking at the sportsbook data, it agrees as well, taking Melton over 21.5 fantasy score. What about some of these other options here? Jordan Clarkson under 3.5 rebounds. We just got done talking about how many trees are going to be out on the floor between Minnesota and Utah, right? I mean, these 2 teams are loaded with rebounders. Your Walker Kesslers, your Lauri Markkanens, your John Collins for Utah. Even Kelly Olynyk off the bench. He's another big body. Jordan Clarkson, maybe he ends up struggling to find rebounds. You got Rudy Gobert. You got Karl Anthony Towns on the other side. Clarkson's at 3.5 boards, 53.6% chance that JC collects 3 or fewer rebounds. So let's go see if we've got some projections that kind of rock with that. Now, the first projection's a healthy 4.6, suggesting that Clarkson may end up going over 3.5 today. Taking a look at a second projection for him, 3.7. That's lower, but it's still more than 3.5. So far, I'm not feeling this one. This does not look good. This third projection, which is Line Star, they got him at 4.2 rebounds. So I'm going to bow out here. I'm not going to touch the Jordan Clarkson under on 3.5 rebounds just because he is projected so well to go over. Here's one that just jumped up on the board, actually two, and they're both Phoenix Suns players. Kevin Durant under 46.5 fantasy points. And the guy we talked about a little earlier, Eric Gordon, still balling into his early 30s, early to mid 30s, right? Eric Gordon's been around a while, but still getting it done. Both of these guys are unders though. All right, so you got KD under 46.5 fantasy. You got Eric Gordon under 18.5 points and rebounds. Currently the top two plays, NBA plays, on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Both of these have over a 55% chance to stay under. So let's take a quick peek at both real quick before the value gets sucked out of these. Kevin Durant at 46.5 or fewer fantasy points. Let's go see where he's at today on Fantasy Labs. Fantasy Labs actually has him at 45.8. 45.8 on the line of 46.5. Again, puts him under, slightly under, not a huge under, but under. Let's take a look here on RotoWire. RotoWire's actually got him way down here at 41.7 fantasy score. Almost 5 whole fantasy points less than where he's at on PrizePicks. I know Devin Booker's out. I know Bradley Beal's out. And so it could get a little uncomfortable today, taking unders on somebody like Kevin Durant. I took the under, as I mentioned before, at 29.5 points. I took the under, and that was before the Devin Booker news, admittedly. But here's another projection, 45.2 fantasy score for KD there. And then a fourth and final projection has Kevin Durant all the way down at 44.4 fantasy score, guys. So I'm just pointing it out to you that at 46.5, that might just be a tad too steep, just a little too high. When you take a look at his different individual player prop markets on a site like DraftKings and how the juice is flowing on each one of those markets, points, rebounds, assists, blocks and steals, turnovers, you can see that the projection for his fantasy score there is about 44.9. 45.2 based on the odds on Barstool, 45.1 on a site like BetMGM, 44.5 over here on this sports book. So pretty much everything is like right around 45 or less. His line's 46.5. So there's value. There's value here. You got projection models, 4 of them that say under on Kevin Durant, and you got sportsbook data that's saying the under on Kevin Durant at 46.5 fantasy score is the way to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in. If you are scared of this for some reason, please, guys, please. I'm not here to twist your arm. I'm not here to, guilt you or convict you to do anything that you do not want to do. I am simply looking at the numbers. We're looking at them together. I am using the data to make decisions. I am not going with my gut. I'm not trying to outthink, outsmart the sports books. They're smarter than you. I don't care what you say. I don't care how much ball you think you know. They are smarter than you. Most of the time, they will beat you. The house always wins. Y'all heard that term. The house always wins. Well, listen, there's a reason why the house always wins. It's because they're sharp as hell. Just saying. So I'm going to go with the data here. I'm going to take Kevin Durant under 46.5 fantasy score. But if you're scared of KD going bonkers today against Philadelphia, then please do not take it. Do not take it. But you see what I'm doing with my money. All right. Drew Eubanks, Phoenix Suns big man. He is at 6.5 points, 54.3% chance that Drew Eubanks is not going to score 7 points today. Not going to score 7 points, according to what we're seeing here, right? A lot of these books, you're seeing money coming in on the under, minus 145 on BetMGM, minus 140 on DraftKings. Okay, so the juice is coming in, the money's coming in on the under for Eubanks at 6.5 points. Now, you don't have to do this, but I do it because I like to try to be thorough. I like to try to look at as many different data points as possible. Projection models are a data point that in the past has proven to work well for me. 6.5 points is his projection. Now that doesn't really tell us anything, right? Because his line's 6.5. So this doesn't help us make any sort of tough decisions. So let's move to RotoWire. Maybe they've got a different projection for Drew Eubanks. We'll refresh those projections, get the latest data pulled in here. 6.8 points on a line of 6.5. Did he get bumped? Because now it's saying that he is at 6. He did get bumped. All right, so Eubanks is at 6. Now that might change things a little bit. That might flip Eubanks from being an under at 6.5 to an over at 6. Let's take a look if that's flipped his market around here just a little bit using the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. They've actually, according to this, bumped him all the way down to 5.5. So he's at 5.5 now. He's at 5.5. So he just went from 6.5 all the way down to 5.5. Now he is still at 6.5 on some of these sports books, which is kind of nice if you're thinking about taking the over here. DraftKings has him at 6.5, meaning their lines makers think 6 to 7 points is where he lands today. Same with Barstool, same with BetMGM. A lot of these books still at 6.5 on Drew Eubanks. So 6 to 7 points, according to their lines makers, is what is going to happen here. Now, he's at 5.5 on FanDuel. At 5.5 on FanDuel, minus 154 betting favorite to clear 5.5 points today. Now, I'm not saying that Drew Eubanks is some kind of like prolific scorer. There's a reason why his line is all the way down at 5.5 points. But what I'm saying is you are getting some value here. 52% chance that he goes over 5.5 points. We just saw it go from 6.5 all the way down to 5.5 in real time. Here's his projection. His projection's 6.5 points. Now I will refresh this. I want to make sure that I'm using the latest projections. All right, 6.3. It went down just a smidge, not much, but 6.3 on a line of 5.5 points. Still projecting to go over. Projection here, 6.8 on RotoWire, right? Again, let me refresh. Yeah, 6.84 on a line of 5.5. So that's 2 projected overs for Eubanks. Maybe they screwed up by putting him all the way down at 5.5. Maybe they shouldn't have done that. Let's check LineStar real quick on Eubanks. For those of you who are wanting to get some action in the next 18 minutes or so before this game starts, they've got Eubanks at 7.5 points here on LineStar, his highest projection of any of the 3 models that we've referenced to this point. I'm going to refresh NumberFire as well. Eubanks is at 4.6 points. So 3 out of 4 projection models have Eubanks going over. He is now considered to be a plus EV play to go over 5.5 points if you want to take it over 5.5 points. 51.8% chance that he goes over at 5.5 points. All right. A little bit of information on that Eubanks play. We saw it go down 1 whole point in real time. So kind of crazy. Anyway, yeah, it's a 1 p.m. game. There's only one 1 p.m. game. And then the rest of the games, we have to wait until 7 p.m. Eastern time for the rest of these games to get going. Here's one that just jumped up on the board. Kristaps Porzingis points and rebounds as at 27.5. We talked about Boston's going to be without Derek White tonight. Boston has just been beating the doors off of everyone that they face. Beating the brakes off of everyone. So blowouts are real. Anytime somebody, kind of sorry is playing against Boston, you can probably expect that Boston's going to beat them pretty handedly. That just seems to be the case here lately. So taking an under on a guy like Porzingis, or under on really any of the Celtics, because they have so much talent that it could be a Drew Holiday day. It could be a Kristaps Porzingis day. It could be a Tatum or Brown day. I mean, you just never know which one of these stars and which one of these studs is going to step up for the Boston Celtics on any given night. But they got KP at 27.5 points and rebounds to go under that line. Now, why are they saying to go under? Well, because you're seeing him at 26.5 on FanDuel, DraftKings, Barstool, Caesars, and more sports books. So PrizePicks has him a point higher than everywhere else. And he's gone. So they probably just bumped him. Trey Princess, yeah, KP just got bumped down just now. There you go. Now, if you're not convinced that the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer is the best way to get in on the value picks before PrizePicks bumps them up, bumps them down, or removes them, I don't know what else to say. I mean, you just saw it a couple different times here. This tool is single-handedly probably the most influential tool for sites like PrizePicks, Underdog, Parlay, Play, Boom, Sleeper, wherever you're playing your favorite player projections. This tool right here is probably the single most influential tool that's out there. I'm just saying. All right. We talked about Eubanks points. What about Eubanks rebounds at 6? 54.4% chance that Eubanks goes under 6 boards. By the way, the link for the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer is going to be in the description of the video. Special link, use code Curry when you get signed up, if you're thinking about it. But I don't know what other convincing you need. You're getting value from this tool. It's going to pay for itself over the long run. Let's look at Eubanks rebounds at 6. Under 6 boards real quick while we've got the Eubanks stuff pulled up. He's projected for 5.3 rebounds on Fantasy Labs, 6 rebounds over here on RotoWire, 5.3 rebounds on LineStar, and 5.1 rebounds on NumberFire. So 6 is about the most we've seen Eubanks projected for today. They don't expect him to have 7, 8, 9, 10 rebounds. They expect him to have 6 or fewer rebounds. So his line at 6 boards, you could take the under on that one. You know what? We might as well just try to make maybe we make a same game parlay here, a same game entry. We've got Melton over fantasy score. We've got KD under fantasy score. We got Eubanks under 6 rebounds. We've got about 23 minutes before this game gets tipped off. So we can make a little same game slip right here. We got 3 already in there. If you wanted to run this as a 2-pick power play, you could. If you wanted to run this as a 3-pick flex play, hear me out, you could. 3-pick flex, if Eubanks ties and lands on exactly 6 rebounds and KD really does go under his fantasy score while Melton really does go over his fantasy score, your 3-pick flex is now essentially a 2-pick power play. But in the event that only 2 out of 3 of these picks hit, you still got that safety net. You still got a little bit of insurance that you're not going to lose all your money. So that's one strategy that I've used in the past. 3-pick flex with a pick that 1 or more picks that could tie or push. It's like a sneaky backdoor 3x payout. So something to kind of keep in mind. So if Eubanks landed on 6 boards, KD really went under, and D'Anthony Melton really went over, you get the safety of a flex play, but you get the upside of a 2-pick power play if these 2 hit and this guy pushes or ties. Just an idea, just a little strategy out there. It's a little safe way to play with a little bit of built-in upside. So, all right, let's see if there's any other picks from this Phoenix-Philadelphia game. 2 teams with cities that start with PH, Phoenix and Philadelphia. Yusuf Nurkic's fantasy score sitting right here at 28, 54.2% chance that he goes under his 28 fantasy score line. Let's take a peek. He's going to be matched up against Joel Embiid. Does he get in foul trouble? Trying to handle Joel Embiid tonight? Maybe. Well, it looks like it just got bumped or removed. What a surprise. Did it just get bumped? Gone? Is it gone? Did they just remove Nurkic right before our very eyes? Let me look. No, he's still at 28 fantasy score. Isn't that where he was? Where'd it go? It disappeared into the wormhole, the Daily Grind Fantasy wormhole. All right, it's still a plus EV play under 28, 52.7% chance. Let's just run some projection models real quick. D'Angelo says, I'm sorry, who was that? D'Angelo says he's super chatted to play. Embiid under assists and Austin Reeves over rebounds. All right, we'll look at that Embiid one in just a second. Nurkic projected for 32.2 big fat fantasy points. That's a whole lot more than 28. So you have a decision to make based on that projection. Do you want to ride with the sportsbook data and take the under on Nurkic at 28 fantasy, or do you want to ride with these projection models and take the over because he's projected for 31.1 fantasy score today on RotoWire? So you got a decision to make. Tough decision. You've also got Nurkic projected for 32.5 fantasy points over here on LineStar. So these projection models are just saying, no, you shouldn't take the under. Even Number Fire's got Nurkic at 28.5 fantasy. So for me, I'm going to skip over Nurk under 28 fantasy points. I just don't like when all of these projection models are saying differently. Not my thing. Now you're talking about Embiid. Embiid for the under on his assists. We've seen Embiid facilitate a whole lot here this season. More recently, I want to say that his assists tend to be up a little higher than where they were in the past, right? He's at 5.5 assists. It does look like it's a plus EV play for him to go under 5.5 assists. 51.1% chance that he goes under. So let's take a peek at some projections on Embiid today. Let's see if the process will be processing some assists or not. Maybe he won't. He's at 5.7 projected assists, putting him real close to that line of 5.5, slightly more than 5.5. Then we take a look at where he's at here on RotoWire. RotoWire's got him all the way down at 4.76, putting him under 5.5, close to 5, but not close to 6. 6 would sink your battleship. You don't want 6 assists from Embiid today. That would be no bueno if you're planning on taking the under at 5.5. Also referencing line start, 6.4 assists on a line of 5.5. Over 5.5. Okay. And then 4.3 assists, putting him under 5.5. So you're getting a lot of different mixed signals, mixed results here from these different projection models for Joel Embiid's assists. I don't like when that happens. Personally, I'm going to leave it alone. D'Angelo, knowing you're going to take it anyway, I think. Probably, right? You're probably still going to ride with it because you're the type who stands on business, aren't you? Usually when you put a pick out there and you feel good about it, you don't really care. Like I've known you to like just take it anyway. You go against anything, the grain, whatever. James is taking the over on the assists for Embiid. He has not missed his assist line. Is that true? Let me go to PropStat Cash. That would be an interesting tidbit. Let's go look at that real quick. Phoenix, Philly, Joel Embiid's assists. Show enough, you right. 5.5 assists. My man's hit 6, 8, 7, and 7. He's trying to become more like Mr. MVP, multiple MVP, Nikola Jokic, it looks like, man. He's starting to get them Sabonis Jokic type numbers in the assist column. Think he does it again tonight? Yeah, those are some healthy assist numbers for Embiid. You know, eventually he's probably going to have 5 assists again. Eventually the bottom's going to fall out on this. I don't know that he's going to maintain 6, 8, 7, assists per game. He's averaging 7 assists for the season over 4 games. Hey, but maybe you just keep riding it until the wheels really do fall off. Oh no. It's up to you. Good information, though. Appreciate that, James, for shining a little light on that. Is there anything else from this game? Will I ever do NASCAR? Brother, NASCAR is probably one of the most volatile sports to play player props. You could be sitting pretty until the final 10 laps or so, and then these guys start rubbing and racing, and they're banging into each other's bumper. I mean, and then a wreck happens. And then the guy who's been leading the race or has been in the top 5 for the entire race, all of a sudden is at the back of the race. Or he's out of the race completely because he ends up down on pit row getting his car worked on. You have to have high tolerance for pain if you're playing NASCAR player props. I'm just saying. No. I've tried it. And that's why I'm speaking from experience. Nah, not my cup of tea. There's a lot more reliable sports out there that are a little bit more predictable than guys driving cars around a ring. I wouldn't do it personally. Anyway, anything else that's standing out from this game before it starts here in the next few minutes? We talked about KD under fantasy score. We've already got that one in there. Here's Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey's at 38.5 fantasy points. According to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, You're seeing 39.8, 39.6 fantasy, 39.5 from these different sportsbook lines that make up a player's fantasy score. So maybe Maxi over 38.5 fantasy score looks like a good look. You could try that. Here's a projection for him, 39.3. That does put him over 38.5. Here's another one, 32.9. So well under on Tyrese Maxey. So one slight over, one big under. Here's a 38.2, close to where he's at on PrizePicks. And then this one here has got him at 37.1. So all over the place, as you can see, all over the place. Yeah, mud wrestling props. I mean, you go crazy. Like, there's so many different player props out there, but nah, I don't think I'm going to be getting into NASCAR. Not seriously anyway. Maybe like for like the Daytona 500 or one of these like big time races where there's, you know, a lot of fanfare or attention on them or something. I don't know. But for the most part, no. Anything else here? I'm just looking, you know, scouring the board the last few minutes before this game starts. Let me do this. Let me just isolate this game, Philadelphia and Phoenix. We'll weed out all the other ones just to see, like, is there anything popping up for Philadelphia and Phoenix? So we already took Melton over fantasy score at 21.5. We've got KD under fantasy score at 46.5. We just looked at Maxi. It's looking a little wild, but I mean, it's his birthday, right? So if you're into narratives, it's Tyrese Maxey's birthday. Maybe he goes crazy today. We've already got a KD pick in there, so we're going to skip that. We already got a Melton pick, so we're going to skip that. Kelly Oubre Jr. at 4.5 rebounds is a plus EV play. 4.5 boards, about a 53% chance that Oubre collects 5 rebounds in this game. So let's go take a peek at him real quick. He's been playing some pretty good ball for Philadelphia since joining the team. He's projected for 4.8 rebounds today over on Fantasy Labs. He is at 4.8 on RotoWire as well. Taking a look at LineStar. LineStar's got him at 3.7 boards, and last but not least, NumberFire's got him at 4.6. So, I mean, most of these projection models have him going over. Is it a big over projection? Not really. It's pretty close, pretty narrow margins there. Here's Jordan Goodwin at 10.5 points and assists, 52.8% chance that he goes under 10.5 points and assists. Let's take a peek at that one real quick. We're just going lightning around real quick, and then we'll look for some other picks. Yeah, he's projected for 14.4 on Fantasy Labs. I'm Gucci. I'm going to leave that one alone. Eubanks, points and rebounds, under 12.5, 52.7% chance that he goes there. 12 or fewer points and rebounds. Let's take a peek at that one real quick. Eubanks was projecting pretty well. He's probably going to be projecting for more than. Let's just see, though. 11.6. What do we say his line was? 12.5? Okay. 11.6, so that is under. That's an under. He's also at 12.8 on RotoWire. Eubanks rebounds got bumped down to 5.5. Okay, see ya. Unless you want to take the over on Eubanks, you could do that. Nurkic, we decided nah. I think Eubanks might have just gotten his rebound and point. No, it's still at 12.5. Interesting. So that could be an underplay. Could be an underplay. Let me look at some of these other projections for Eubanks. 12.8, slightly more than 12.5. And last but not least, NumberFire's got him at 4.6 points plus 5.1 rebounds, putting him at 9.7. So we could roll the dice on Eubanks perhaps and take him under his rebounds and points line. Let's just take a peek at that real quick and see how that's looking. 11, 6, 17, 12, and 18. So he's had some pretty big upside games, a 17 versus Utah, an 18 versus San Antonio. But outside of that, 11, 6, and 12. So you just kind of never know what you're going to get out of Drew Eubanks. But hey, maybe take the under at 12.5 points and rebounds. Let's see. Anything else that's standing out to you guys for this first game? Tobias Harris over 3-point makes. I mean, I don't see him up here as a popular plus EV option. Just looking at first glance. Not seeing Tobias Harris 3-point makes. Here's Tobias Harris under 18.5 points and assists. We haven't looked at that one just yet. That could be a move. Under 18.5 points and assists. Let's go see. Harris shows up one day and then the next day he doesn't. I mean, he's just one of those guys that has the tendency to be very hard to predict. He's at 18.5 though. First projection's got him all the way down at 16.4. So if you are considering the under, not a bad under. Second projection's got him at 17.6. That's 2 different models that have him going under. Line Star, again, the oddball, as per usual most of the time, has him all the way up at 22.2 points and assists. So they're kind of out there in left field like they typically are. And then he's at 14 points plus another 2.8 assists, so 16.8. So 3 out of 4 projection models have Harris going under, plus the juice is loose on the under as well. So Tobias Harris for points and assists. Looking more like an under based on the data that we just looked at together than an over. So if you want to sweat something, maybe you do like a 4-pick flex on this. I don't think this is like power worthy by any means. A lot of super sharp lines on these picks. But you could go 4-pick flex on that. Let's see if there's anything else that we can do to maybe get it up to a 5 or a 6 pick. I would prefer that personally. Oubre under 16.5 points, 52.6% chance that Oubre is going to go under today. Let's look at that. 15 on a line of 16.5. Okay, Dan. Second projection for him, 15.2, putting him under 16.5 yet again. I mean, if we're all on the Tyrese Maxi birthday train, right? Maxi's going to have this like outstanding game. Maybe he's going to shoot the ball 15, 20 times. I don't know. Then maybe somebody's going to have to sacrifice some buckets, and maybe Kelly Oubre and Tobias Harris are those guys to sacrifice some of their points for Maxi's birthday. That will be Maxi's birthday gift from those fellas, I guess. Oubre is at 16.5. 18 is the projection on Line Star. Again, you guys are seeing it. Line Star is always just a little like out there. 15.3 though on Number Fire. So most of these sites, once again, has Oubre going under 16.5 points. So you could throw him in there and make it a 5 pick if you want. Where is he at? 16.5. Phoenix. Maybe there's a little bit of a revenge narrative. Did you guys ever think of that, huh? Kelly Oubre once played for the Phoenix Suns. Maybe he's going to go crazy too. Maybe it's going to be him and Maxi going off. And Embiid and Harris are not going to go off. Maybe they're going to let Oubre get a lot of shots up against his former team. Maybe he carries around hatred for the Phoenix Suns. He's going to make them pay today on the court. We can come up with all kind of stories, right? All kind of different narratives. But yeah, there's 5 picks for you. Same game parlay. 7 minutes until this game tips off? Is this a nationally televised game? Because sometimes those games do get started a little bit early. Jordan Goodwin under 3.5 assists. Woo, 58.37% chance of hitting. Let's see, is he still up on the board? Because usually that kind of value gets snatched up quick. He still is. All right, quick moves. We're not looking at projections. It's just a very plus EV play. I'll throw $20 on this. It's now a 6-pick flex. Got to be quick. There we go. Not even going to look at projections on that one. Melton, KD, Eubanks, Harris, Oubre, Goodwin. Is my big head out of the way yet? I think it is. Yeah, we just sniped Jordan Goodwin at 3.5 assists under. See what happens, man. A lot of juice loose on Goodwin under 3.5 dimes though. Minus 154 on Pinnacle, minus 160 on BetMGM. minus 179, minus 185, minus 170. There's a lot of juice on the under for Jordan Goodwin, under 3.5 assists. Didn't even bother with projections on that one. Because when you see it at 58.3% chance to hit, I mean, that's damn near taco status. You see some of these tacos, they're like usually in like the low 60, mid 60 range as far as chances to hit. 58.3, you just take it. You just take it and you hope for the best. That kind of value doesn't happen a lot. I mean, now look, it's up to 59%, guys. It's climbing up to a 60% chance to hit. Also, Eric Gordon over 2.5 assists, sitting at 59.6% chance to hit. So you want to talk about edges or advantages in our favor. All of these props are typically set to a 50-50 proposition, right? That's what the lines makers try to achieve, a 50-50. Well, now you're getting about a 9% edge or advantage in your favor, almost a 10% edge on Eric Gordon. So you just take that value and live with the results. But hey, looking good to me. We sniped Jordan Goodwin under 3.5. Maybe Eric Gordon over 2.5 is also a good play. But there's our little same game for this first game. Now that we got that out of the way, we can get on to our back to our regularly scheduled program, right? I just wanted to build out a same game slip with you guys. Kelly Oubre over. Man, he went over already. I didn't take long. Oubre's over, guys. He's over 16.5 points already. I'm just kidding. I know what you meant. You like him to go over, Roy. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Is he going to flame his former team, the Phoenix Suns? Possibly. Maybe. All right. There was another piece of that super chat that D'Angelo left. It was Austin Reeves rebounds. Austin Reeves rebounds. Let's look at that one. 3.5 boards. He's going up against my Orlando Magic. These teams just played one another the other night. And in that game, Orlando, LA, Reeves pulled in just 3 rebounds. Now, he has not been the most consistent player when it comes to collecting 4 or more boards. I mean, he's had big games of 8 and 7 against Denver and Los Angeles Clippers, respectively. But then in between there, sandwiched in between there, the meat of the burger here, 2, 2, and just 3 against Orlando. So he's kind of been up and down. Looking for consistency, this is not the model of consistency. But for our intents and purposes here, D'Angelo's liking Austin Reeves to go over 3.5 rebounds in this this recent rematch game against the Orlando Magic. So let's take a peek at it. Let's turn on all teams back on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. I mean, Jordan Goodwin is currently the top optimal play here at under 3.5 assists. Just saying, 58.5% chance that he goes under 3.5. Will it come true? Well, we don't know. We'll have to stay tuned and find out, won't we? We'll have to tune in and watch this game and find out. But is there numbers behind it, data behind it? Yes, for sure. I mean, you see it right here. These different sports books, a lot of juice coming in on the under for Goodwin's assists at 3.5. Maybe it's sharp money. Maybe it's a bunch of donkeys who are just trying to get in a last minute, pick. I don't know. We don't know. Hopefully it's good data though. Here's some other ones. You got a couple minutes here, a minute or so before this game starts. Joel Embiid under 41.5 points and rebounds is popping on this optimizer tool. 54, almost 55% chance that Embiid stays under 41.5 points and rebounds against Jusuf Nurkic and the Phoenix Suns. So if you're looking for a last minute Hail Mary, I mean, you got 3 different ones here. Goodwin under assists, Gordon over assists, Embiid under points and rebounds. So get your last minute entry or last minute picks in there. Show the slip. All right, I'll show the slip again. DeAnthony Melton for more on his fantasy score. Kevin Durant for less on his fantasy score. Drew Eubanks for less on his points and rebounds. Tobias Harris for less on his points and assists. Kelly Oubre for less on his points. And Jordan Goodwin, last minute snipe. Jordan Goodwin, less on his 3.5 assists. Got about a minute or less before this game starts. All right, back to Austin Reeves. Let's check out some Austin Reeves EV action here. Is it a plus EV play or is it not? At 3.5 rebounds, you got a slightly better chance that he does go over 3.5 versus him going under 3.5. So barely, slightly qualifies as a plus EV play. Taking a look at some of the projections for Austin Reeves and his rebounds, you got 3.8 projected boards. You've got him sitting at 3.6. So while these projections are over, they're just slightly over. Not major, not major. Taking a look at where he's at on Line Star, just 3.2. And then he is at just 3.5. So some really sharp, tight projections on Austin Reeves and these rebounds today. Projection-wise, I like to see more of an edge, more of a differential between the line and the projections, and I'm not really seeing that. You're seeing some overs, barely, some unders on Reeves. And then we just talked about how, like, he just really hasn't been rebounding consistently that well, you know, for the Los Angeles Lakers. In fact, he just really hasn't played well at all for the Lakers this season. I mean, he got a big bag in the offseason. They re-signed him, pretty big bag. But again, this is kind of what you're looking at here in his game logs. 8, 2, 2, 3, and then a 7. So they set his line at 3.5. Maybe he goes crazy and pulls in 4 or more. I don't know. I don't know anything. Nobody knows what's going to happen. In fact, I always like to remind you guys, nobody knows anything. Yeah, we took Kessler over rebounds, or I did earlier. Another guy like Reeves, who's just been kind of like wildly inconsistent. He's had some good games. He's had some bad games. Has Kessler. But yeah, I ended up taking the over on him. Let's see. Brian says, there's no way everyone is going under. You never know, bro. Hey, there's blowouts. These two teams could take the floor, and it could be one of the slowest paced games with fewer possessions than what everyone thought and hoped that there would be. Philadelphia, at some point, they're going to have to roll out some of these other bench guys that they just traded for. Your Nick Batums, your Robert Covingtons, your Marcus Morris Seniors, your KJ Martins. I mean, at some point, these guys are going to get into the mix, into the rotation as well here, right? Somebody might end up going under if today's the day where these guys kind of get their welcome to the rotation and the lineup for Philly. I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. Not everybody will go under, but you just never know how it'll play out. That's why it's gambling. If we knew, we would take all the money out of our accounts and just throw it on the pick that we knew was going to hit. Like Brian saying Joel Embiid is definitely going over. If you believe that, I challenge you, bro. Take every dollar that you own and put it down on Joel Embiid to go over your favorite prop on your favorite sports book as a straight bet, not a parlay. Just take $1,000, $10,000, whatever you have in your account. Put it on Joel Embiid over. If you know he's definitely going over, then there really is no risk. But you know better than that. You know that there's no definites in this. Brian, you know better. Anyway, Everyday Fantasy coming through with a couple of super chats. Let's get to those real quick. He's got Drew Holiday at 1.5 3-point makes to go over. He's got Yusuf Nurkic at 6 defensive rebounds to go over. I'm sorry, my brother. We missed that one. The game, I think, has started. But let's look at Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday. We know that Derek White is out for Boston today. Will that open things up for Drew Holiday? Potentially. Right? It's one less little mouth to feed. They're going to plug somebody in the starting lineup. I'm not sure who's projected to start for Boston in absence of Derek White. But Perhaps Drew Holiday benefits here. He's at 1.5 3-point makes. You got about a 51.2% chance of Drew Holiday going over. Now, Pinnacle, one of the sharpest sports books out there, if not the sharpest sports book, has the odds for Drew Holiday to go over 1.5 3-point makes set at -149, which is pretty strong. Very strong, in fact, when you compare it to some of these other sports books where he's sitting at just -120 on most. So Pinnacle, a lot of juice on the over for Drew Holiday at 1.5 3-point makes. So let's take a look here at Drew Holiday real quick. We got some projection models, of course, and we can reference those to try to help us make a smart, sound decision. We got him at 2.1 3-point makes, going up against Brooklyn tonight. So the first projection is a good one. Puts him over 1.5. Second projection for Drew, 2.0. So they got him again, going over 1.5 at exactly 2 3-point makes. Take a look at a third projection. So we're thorough around here. We try to be thorough. 1.4, slightly less than 1.5. So that's the first under. We got 2 nice overs and 1 slight under. And then the third and final projection, which is presented here by Number Fire, 2.1 3-point makes, again on a line of 1.5. So anywhere from 1.4 up to 2.1, and 3 out of 4 of those projection models said take over on Drew Holiday's 3-point make. So if we were building out another entry, well, we would kick Austin Reeves out, at least I would. I'm not going to play Austin Reeves, but you could go Drew Holiday for more than 1.5 3-point makes with no Derek White. Holiday did drain 3 threes in his last game. The other 4 previous games, he's only hit 1, but maybe again tonight he gets a couple extra looks, a couple extra attempts against the Brooklyn Nets with Derek White being ruled out for personal reasons. Okay, so that one checks out, Everyday Fantasy. And we can make that the first pick of our next entry. What else we got? We got Dude coming through with his first super chat on a live stream. You and me are now bonded for life, dude. You went out of your way for the very first time to leave a super chat for me on my live stream. I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I'm grateful and thankful. So thank you, dude, for that. Looking at Dude's picks here. Let's make it worth his while, right? Because he did go out of his way to leave this lovely super chat for yours truly. He's got Jason Tatum's 9.5 rebounds going over. He says Claxton and Ben Simmons got ruled out. Did Ben Simmons get ruled out? Did I miss that? Let's look. Let's refresh. Whoop. Sure enough did. Ben Simmons, injury management is out. Okay, that's big news. So we talked about Devin Booker's out for this game that just started. Ben Simmons is out. Derek White is out. Nick Claxton is out. Day'Ron Sharpe, anyone? Day'Ron Sharpe going to be starting at the center spot for Brooklyn. Is that who they're going to throw in there? Monday or Tuesday for those Philly players to join the team. Good to know, Chris. Thank you. I saw Robert Covington on the bench. He was in uniform too, so I was thinking, well, maybe they're going to get Rocco out there. I don't know that Rocco actually played any minutes, but all right. Big news though. Yeah. Ben Simmons is out. Nick Claxton's out. So it's probably going to be like Day'Ron Sharpe manning the middle for Brooklyn, if I were to guess. Just throwing that out there. Possibly. Could be him. All right. Taking a look at Tatum. Tatum sitting at 9.5 rebounds. Dude's wanting to take the wanting to take the over on Tatum. Based on this matchup against an undersized, under-equipped Brooklyn Nets team. He thinks that Tatum's going to pull in 10 or more rebounds. Here's what I'll tell you. When it looks like this, when it looks like a lot of juice, not a lot, but you know, the juice is coming in on the under at the 9.5 rebound marker. That usually means it's a plus EV play for the under. And in this case, on a site like PrizePicks, you probably don't want to go against the grain. You don't get bonus points. You don't get bonus payouts for going against the juice, against the odds, and taking what is essentially a minus EV play. You don't get any sort of extra bonus or benefit for doing that. So I probably would not take this on PrizePicks. If you have access to one of these sites where you get boosted payouts, let's say for taking a minus EV pick, I think Hot Streak does something like that, right? They have different payout multipliers. Sleeper, I think, is also like that, or, you know, traditional sports books. I would say probably save that over on Jason Tatum's 9.5 rebounds for one of those sites where you actually do get rewarded for taking a risk. But let me get you some projections, because Tatum's at 9.7 rebounds, putting him over 9.5. Okay. Slight projection for the over. Second projection for Jason Tatum, going to be 8.3. Now that's a far cry from 10, which is what he would need to go over 9.5. So that's going to be a big under there. Taking a look at LineStar. LineStar's got him at 9.7, slightly over 9.5. And then NumberFire's got him sitting at 7.9 rebounds. Wow, that's way under, way under. That's like 2 rebounds less than what you need, the 10. Okay. Brian said he knows better. That's why he's going to fade. Facts, facts, facts. How's the game going so far? Let me pull up ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Let's check in on this game real quick. Let's see what we got. Oubre with 5 points. Look at that. Eric Gordon with 5. What do we got here so far? What's popping? Katie with 5 points, a turnover, an assist, a couple boards. Kinta Bates Jop is doing nothing. Cardio Kenta, isn't that his name? Am I making that up? Keita? All right, well, this guy's Cardio Keita. Cardio Keita. It used to be Cardio Kimba. Kimba Walker's like playing in China or something now. But anyway, that guy's doing nothing. You got Yusuf Nurkic with 2 points and 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Okay, 2, 2, and 2. Eric Gordon, 7 points, a block, an assist. So he's filling it up, especially from a fantasy score perspective. Grayson Allen, no buckets, 2 personal fouls, and 2 assists thus far. Interesting. So they have not went to the bench just yet. None of these guys have entered the game. On the Philadelphia side, we got what? Tobias Harris at 4 points. 2 early personals for him. Ouch. Maybe he is going to go under. Maybe it's the foul trouble that will be the bane of Kelly Oubre and Tobias Harris's existence today. Both of them have 2 personal fouls. Oubre with 5 points, 2 rebounds. Harris with 4 points, 2 rebounds, but both of them have 2 personals. Joel Embiid, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and the birthday boy, Reeves Maxi, nothing but 2 points thus far. Okay. DeAnthony Melton, we took the fantasy score over for Melton, and he's filling it up with 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Shout out DeAnthony Melton, respecting the coin. There's Robert Covington. I think he just checked into the game, man. I think he just checked into the game. So Roco is in there like swimwear. DeAnthony Melton, though. What a hot start for him, huh? Quick 9 fantasy points, and he hasn't even put the ball in the bucket yet. Wait till that 3 ball starts raining down on top of him. Wait till that 3 ball that DeAnthony Melton likes to shoot. Wait till a couple of those drop in, and then we're really off to the races. But yeah. All right, we got something cooking here. We got something brewing up. Brewing up. Who's the first player off the bench for the Suns? Yuta Watanabe? Okay. Going to the bench with Utah. I wish I could broadcast the game. I think that would get me banned from YouTube. But, you know, we got this as an alternative, right? So Kelly Oubre and Tobias Harris both just checked out with 2 personal fouls. Grayson Allen to the bench. Yuta Watanabe into the game, and then you got KD, who just sunk a free throw. Tyrese Maxey struggling a little bit with that shot early on. He did just sink him a nice little two-pointer, though. I know a lot of people are taking Tyrese Maxey for over everything because of his B-Day, his birthday. So we'll see how it goes. 17 to 15. Interesting. All right. Well, we got a little same game parlay that we cooked up. Here's your live scoring on that. For those of you who tailed some of these, maybe you didn't take them all. Maybe you took some. Drew Eubanks, let's keep you quiet. Jordan Goodwin, let's keep you quiet. I know they haven't checked into the game yet, but let's hope they stay shh, right? All right, back to business, guys. That was fun. Tatum over 9.5 boards. I'm not going with that one, man. It just looked a little too slippery for me, dude. But that Drew Holiday over 1.5 3-point makes, I am cool with that. That did look okay by me. Let's put him back in there. Drew over 1.5 3-point makes. Appreciate the super chat, dude. You the man. Anything else popping here on the optimizer or otherwise? Can we put together another 5 picks potentially and go for another 25x on a 6 pick? Possibly. Tatum under 28.5 points. Here we go again with these unders. So he's at 27.5 on Pinnacle, FanDuel, Barstool, BetMGM, Caesars, everywhere you look, he's at 27.5 points. So let's throw him in there real quick. Still at 28.5 versus Brooklyn. Brooklyn's actually equipped with the right defenders to slow Tatum down. I don't know if it's going to be Mikal Bridges. I don't know if it's going to be Dorian Finney-Smith, but both of those guys are defensive dogs. Agree or disagree? As far as perimeter wing defenders, I mean, it doesn't get much better than those two guys. Though Herb Jones in that conversation as well, but Mikal Bridges and Dorian Finney-Smith, either one of them on Jason Tatum could slow him down. I'm not saying they're going to stop him. Nobody's going to stop Jason Tatum but Tatum himself. But as far as slowing him down, stagnating him, you could see, those guys trade off on Jason Tatum today, pick up that assignment. And, I could see a situation where Tatum ends up with less than 29 points tonight. Just throwing it out there. So it is a plus EV play. Actually, the top play on the optimizer is Tatum under 28.5 points. Let's take a look at his points projection. 26.3, my friends. 26.3. He's at 22.5 points on RotoWire. 22.5 to 26.3, kind of a projection range for Tatum thus far. Take a look at where he's at on LineStar. LineStar's got him at 29.8, a little bit higher than the 28.5 on PrizePicks. And then he's at 26 points on NumberFire. So again, 3 out of the 4 sites, LineStar being the one weirdo of the bunch, have Tatum going under 28.5 points. I would take it because I do think it's going to get bumped down to 28, possibly even 27.5. I think PrizePicks will jump in line on this pick with most of the sports books because right now they're very much an outlier, right? So if this gets bumped down in the next few minutes, I told you so. I knew it would. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is sitting out there at 11.5 points and rebounds. He's a pretty high up plus EV play, over a 53% chance that KCP goes over 11.5 points and rebounds. Let's take a look at that one. Caldwell-Pope, I thought maybe would have a little bit of a bigger role with Bruce Brown being gone and Bones Highland recently traded to the Clippers and such. I thought maybe KCP would kind of step into a bigger role this season, but a little quiet, a little slow start for KCP. But he is projected for 14.3 points and rebounds going up against the Chicago Bulls, so that is a nice little over there. He's also at 15.5 points and rebounds over on RotoWire. Taking a look at Line Star. Line Star's got him at just 10 points in rebounds, but if we look at Number Fire, they've got him at 10.5 points plus another 2.9 rebounds, putting him at 13.4 points in rebounds. So you could take KCP. Did I literally just type in KCP to PrizePicks thinking I was going to get a result? You could take KCP over 11.5 points in rebounds if you wish. Let's just make it a 2-pick power play and see how this goes. I'll put 25 bucks on it. We do a lot of 6 picks. We don't do too many 2 picks. Let's make this a 2-pick power play. Tatum, KCP. Tatum for less on the points. KCP for more on the points and rebounds. Let's just go with that. See what happens. Checking in on our entry. Look at D'Anthony Melton respecting us. There's a 3-pointer for Melton. 3 points, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. He's filling it up with 12 fantasy score. And we're not even at halftime yet. KD sitting at 13.9. Got a long way to go if he plans on going over 46.5 fantasy score. Tobias Harris, Kelly Oubre, talked about them getting in foul trouble. So they're still on the bench, glued. Asses glued to their seats. Drew Eubanks and Jordan Goodwin still yet to record any type of statistic for Phoenix. So looks like actually Goodwin just grabbed a rebound and an assist. Well, all right then. Goodwin's in the game. He's got 2 boards and an assist. Still no appearance though by our other guy, Eubanks. So keep an eye on this game. We'll see how it goes. I appreciate everybody for being here, though. 95 people watching. It's Saturday. You guys go have some fun. I don't know about you, but here in Florida, the weather is beautiful. I need to get out of the house. I'm an addict, though. You know, I'm here to help you people. I left the Dub Club link in the description in the live chat, and then the Dub Club page is right here for you guys. You can join Dub Club for 67 cents per day, or $20 a month is what it kind of boils down to. And I post winning picks each and every day and helping the community out. We got a lot of very helpful, resourceful community members in there as well. So if you're looking for a family-friendly community of like-minded individuals, you got the right one right here. Join the Dub Club, and good luck on your entries today.